Hi dan Assalamualaikum. Today, me and my friend will presenting about this chapter, which is, as you can see, training and development. Firstly, let me introduce myself first. My name is Nur Eliana binti Muhammad Saleh, and my metric number is D1831139. So, as a first presenter, basically will explaining the introduction or definition of this chapter. So, we move to the next slide to find out what definition of training and development. Okay, before I go through the definition, firstly I will explain the preview that you will learn in this chapter. Okay, firstly you will be learn a concept of training, the benefit of training, a systematic approach to training, and example of learning principle. Okay, now we move to the next slide. Okay, this is definition of training. Training is the attempt by an organization to change employee through the learning process so that they are able to perform their job as efficiently as possible. Okay, in a simple way, that means training is an important element in organization in improving employee current performance, and in applying training and development system to employee, in provide and prepare employee for change that are expected to take place in the near future. Okay, training and development also will give many advantage to the company in producing more efficient output. Okay, that's definition of training, yang mana maksudnya training ini sangat diperlukan oleh seseorang pekerja untuk mengimprovekan dia orang punya skill, dia orang punya attitude, dia orang punya pengetahuan di dalam meningkatkan dia orang punya current performance. Okay, next kita move kepada next slide. Okay, this slide explain about the AS model. What's the mean of AS model? AS model as an educational model aim to identify them by decomposing design education discipline into manageable elements that reflect the main ingredient. The proposed ingredient are AS, which is attitude, skill, and knowledge. Okay, that's mean itu adalah elemen-elemen AS model adalah elemen-elemen yang diperkenalkan ataupun diberikan kepada para pekerja melalui training and development. Okay. Based on the slide, as you can see, there are AS model. First of all, I will explain the meaning each of AS. Okay, A stand for attitude, S stand for skill, and K stand for knowledge. Okay, each component of the AS model have a specific purpose. Firstly is attitude. Attitude refer to the behavior aspect. Attitude are employee belief and opinion which determine an employee behavior. Attitude are important in training because they will affect great motivation. Okay, next is skills. Skill can be improved after having knowledge. Skill are the element that needed to perform a set of tasks as a result of training and experience. There are two types of skill, which is firstly is a compilation. Compilation still in a lower level. In compilation, employees still need to analysis and thinking before or while they are performing a skill. Next, the second type of skill is automatically or other means in higher level. In this level, employee will be able to perform the skill without any sense of lack of confidence while doing the task. Okay, now we move to the last of us model, which is knowledge. Knowledge is a collection of facts, principle, procedure, and information organized by over a time. Knowledge of facts and concepts should be in an employee to apply skill when perform the task or change attitude. It's important before developing skill. For example, before you making some cookies, what should you know? It's knowledge, because you have to know what's the ingredient and how to baking that. That's a simple meaning way in knowledge. Okay, now we move to the next slide. Now, as you can see, this is an example that can be applied through the AS model. Okay, firstly, we take a look at attitude. In attitude, what you can improving is curiosity, iaitu sifat ingin tahu, desire to success, open-minded and resilient, iaitu ketahanan. Semua ni dapat diimprovekan melalui attitude. Okay, seterusnya adalah skill, iaitu which you can improve some intellectual skill, social skill, communicated skill and physical skill. Okay, di sini korang dapat improvekan semua jenis skill di dalam training. Okay, dan yang terakhir adalah knowledge. You will be learning and the fact, figure, concept and idea. Okay, itu contoh-contoh yang dapat dipelajari melalui knowledge, pengetahuan. Okay, itu saja daripada saya tentang definition and the AS model about this chapter. Now I will pass to my friend Afiq.
Hai, Assalamualaikum. My name is Muhammad Nur Afif bin Muhammad Isa. Nama matrik D18310-969. Training is a learning partnership. There are 5 phases involved in the learning process. 1. The training department. 2. Employers. 3. Heads of department. 4. Employers. 3. Trainers. For training to be effective, all of 5 phases have to participate in the learning process. Training department will decide who should conduct the training. Employers, usually senior managers, will decide on policies related to training. They also have to ensure sufficient budget is available for heads of department will give input into the training needs. By monitoring the employer performance, employer have to attend to required training. After the training session, the training department and head of department whose workers attend the training will evaluate the training to see whether it has achieved its objective. Next.
Okay, hi, Assalamualaikum. My name is Nordalini binti Sharifuddin. Okay, my matric number is D1831141. So, thank you to Afi and Eliana, and I will continue about what happened to a company which does not train its employee. So, before kita masuk dalam slide, saya akan terangkan secara ringkas mengenai apa yang akan berlaku kepada sesebuah syarikat jika mereka ni tak train dia orang punya pekerja properly. So, what we can observe is that a company that neglect to implement training in organization basically means ignoring all areas of organization. Training is a very important in running a successful organization. By not training your employees, you can affect the productivity, safety and well-being of your entire organization. So, dekat sini, syarikat yang tak train diorang punya pekerja dengan betul, dengan properly, akan mengalami pelbagai kesan negatif. Okey, antaranya dari segi productivity mereka, keselamatan diri mereka, malah kesejahteraan dan ketenteraman syarikat mereka pun akan terganggu disebabkan majikan ni tak train diorang punya pekerja properly. Okay, so let's move to the slide. Okay, Margaret Ann Reid 2004 and a co-author in Human Resource Development point out the following costs will be incurred if an employer does not train his employees. Okay, so dekat sini Margaret ni dan rakan-rakan dia dalam Human Resource Development ada bagi tahu terdapat beberapa kos ataupun perkara yang akan ditanggung oleh majikan jika diorang ni tak train dia punya pekerja secara formal ataupun properly dengan cara yang betul. So, nak tahu apa kos tu, kita akan tengok kepada slide seterusnya. Okay? So, the first one is payment to employee when learning on the job, which may take longer if it is not properly planned for. Okay, so dekat sini, majikan ni akan tapung kos pembayaran kepada pekerja yang belajar di tempat kerja. Okey, untuk pekerja yang belajar di tempat kerja ni, mereka berkemungkinan akan ambil masa lebih lama dalam latihan tersebut lah. Sebab majikan ni tak train diorang punya pekerja secara formal ataupun properly. Contohnya daripada training yang profesional lah. So, bila belajar di tempat kerja ni, diorang mungkin akan ambil masa lebih lama jika tak dirancang dengan betul. Okay, so the next is cost of waste, material, sales and customer loss because of mistake made by untrained employees. Okay, so yang mana yang ni berkaitan dengan pembaziran dari segi material dan sale. Okay, untuk customer pula, in some case, poor quality work from lack of training can have an immediate negative impact on a customer. Sebabnya dekat sini, pekerja yang tak dilatih dengan betul, diorang ni tak dapat nak bagi perkhidmatan yang memuaskan ataupun terbaik kepada pelanggan. So, secara tak langsung, syarikat akan mengalami penurunan sale. Okey, sebab apa berlakunya penurunan sale? Okey, disebabkan diorang punya pekerja lah yang tak mampu nak bagi perkhidmatan yang baik kepada pelanggan. So, bila pelanggan hilang, sale syarikat pun akan menurun. Okey, so kita akan tengok untuk slide seterusnya. Okay, the next is management time cost taken to undo the mistake made by the untrained employees. Okay, dekat sini syarikat ni akan mengalami pembaziran dari segi masa. Okay, kenapa boleh berlakunya pembaziran dari segi masa? So, macam yang saya bagi tahu tadi, seseorang pekerja yang tak dilatih properly ataupun yang tak diberi latihan secukupnya, mereka ni berkemungkinan untuk melakukan kesilapan semasa bekerja. Okay, so bila adanya kesilapan semasa bekerja, syarikat ni terpaksa baiki balik kesilapan yang dibuat oleh pekerja-pekerja mereka. So, bila nak baiki balik kesilapan tu, mereka akan mengalami pembaziran masa. Sebab masa diorang tu hanya digunakan untuk baiki balik kesilapan yang dibuat oleh pekerja yang tak terlatih. Okey, so bila berlakunya pembaziran masa ni, pelbagai kesan negatif boleh berlaku di dalam syarikat. Okey, antaranya diorang akan melambatkan aktiviti sesebuah syarikat Okey, so next is low moral leading to higher turnover among team member who are demotivated by working with an untrained employee. Okey, so dekat sini dia lebih bagi kesan kepada seseorang pekerja. Okey, untuk yang ni, seseorang pekerja tu mungkin akan mengalami semangat ataupun mempunyai semangat diri yang rendah disebabkan mereka ni tak diberi latihan yang secukupnya ataupun boleh katakan mereka ni macam kurang motivasi diri. So, nak pula bila dia orang bekerja dalam satu kelompok yang semuanya tak diberi latihan yang secukupnya. So, aura positif dalam syarikat tu takkan ada lah sebab masing-masing tak terlatih. So, kerja diorang pun mungkin tak mencapai tahap yang bagus bila masing-masing dah down, dah kekurangan motivasi, yalah, boleh menjatuhkan semangat diri mereka dan tak bagus untuk sesebuah syarikat nak capai kejayaan. Okay, so next slide is the second last is accident related cost. It is well documented that untrained workers tend to have more accident at the workplace. Okay, dekat sini pekerja yang tak terlatih ni dia akan lebih cenderung untuk berlaku kemalangan semasa di tempat kerja. Okay, actually untuk kos kemalangan ni, dia akan meningkatkan pembelanjaan sesebuah syarikat. Okay, kenapa? First, syarikat kena tanggung kos rawatan pekerja yang mengalami kemalangan tersebut, and then syarikat ni kena tanggung kos untuk nak bela syarikat tu sendiri. Okay, kenapa dia nak bela diri dia? Sebab pekerja ni mesti akan tuntut rugi daripada majikan dia orang. Sebab apa? Sebab kemalangan tu mungkin berlaku daripada majikan mereka yang tak train pekerja-pekerja ni dengan cara yang properly. So pekerja ni akan tutup rugi daripada syarikat lah, and then memang akan banyak habis kos dekat situ. Sebab yalah, pekerja yang tak mahir dengan bidang kerja ni boleh melakukan pelbagai kesilapan lah, sehingga menyebabkan kemalangan. Okey, contohnya untuk pekerja yang membawa jentera-jentera berat ke, and sebagainya. Okay, so the last one is higher turnover leading to increased recruitment cost because of employee quit their job when they feel they have no prospect of further development. Okay, untuk yang last ni, seseorang pekerja ni dia mungkin akan macam tadilah, dia akan mengalami bila dah kurang semangat diri, diorang akan down, kurang motivasi dan apa semua benda lah. Bila dah berlaku macam tu dalam diri mereka, so bila bekerja pula mereka sering buat salah, sering melakukan kesilapan. So mereka akan tiba-tiba, mungkin mereka akan fikir, oh syarikat ni mungkin tak perlukan aku lagi. So mereka akan faktor-faktor ni lah yang akan mendorong mereka untuk nak tukar kerja, nak berhenti dekat syarikat tu. So diorang mungkin akan cari syarikat yang lebih bagus, yang mana diorang akan jaga kebajikan pekerja-pekerja mereka dan akan beri mereka latihan yang secukupnya. So mereka mungkin akan fikir untuk masa depan mereka lah. And bila berlakunya perkara-perkara berikut kepada seseorang pekerja, so tak hairanlah syarikat tu boleh hilang pekerja-pekerja mereka. Okay, so dekat sini the main point ialah bila syarikat tu dah kehilangan pekerja-pekerja mereka, mereka ni akan mengalami pembaziran dari segi masa dan kos pembelanjaan. Okay, kenapa masa? So bila melibatkan masa, bila seseorang pekerja tu berhenti, syarikat ni mestilah nak hire pekerja baru. Bila nak hire pekerja baru, mereka akan mengambil masa yang kalau rezeki boleh awal, kalau tak ada rezeki mungkin akan ambil masa yang lebih lama untuk nak dapatkan pekerja yang baru. So mereka akan mengalami pembaziran dari segi masa lah dekat situ. And then pembaziran yang kedua adalah dari segi kos, yang mana mereka akan kena tangguhlah pula kos dari segi proses untuk pengambilan pekerja baru. Okay, that's all daripada saya. Semua tu adalah beberapa perkara ataupun kos yang majikan kena tanggung jika dia orang tak hire pekerja properly. So that's all from me, and I will continue. So I will pass to my friend to continue this chapter. Okay, thank you.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name Muhammad Syazrul Syazwi bin Syahar. Matric number D181-10561. Today, I will explain about benefit of training. Training is important because it represents a good opportunity for employees to grow their knowledge base and improve their job skill to become more effective in the workplace. Despite the cost of training for employees, the return on investment is immense if it is consistent. Training helps to increase worker productivity by improving their ability to do their current job. Workers can learn to do their job through trial and error method, but in the process they learn bad habit which will be difficult to eradicate at the later time. They make mistake in their work and they cause accident. Effective training programs speed up the learning process so that the worker is able to contribute to the job very soon after requirement. He can work faster and thus increase his output and give better quality work. A productivity worker is more likely to be satisfied with himself, his job and the organization he works for, and he is less likely to want to look for another job elsewhere. The benefit of having training programs become obvious not Not only do the quality and quantity of work performed increase, but also saving are made on recruitment and training costs if turnover can be kept to low level, although some turnover is useful in that recruit from outside bring a new ideas and different way to doing things. The other benefit of training: first, training opportunity attract and help to retain talented workers. Second, training increase worker productivity. Training increase workers job satisfaction. Training keeps workers up to date. Training help to motivate worker. The next, learning organisation. Learning organisation is a company that facilitates the learning of its member and continuously transform itself. Learning organisation may develop as a result of the pressure facing modern organisation. This enables them to remain competitive. A learning organisation is one which is permitted with a culture whereby all employees continuously attempt to increase their knowledge and skill on a cooperative basis. The organisation takes proactive steps to remain this knowledge within organisation. The other benefit of learning organisation: maintaining level of innovation and remain competitive, having the knowledge to better link resources to customer needs, improving quality of output at all level, improving corporate image by becoming more people-oriented, increasing the pace of change within the organisation, strengthening the sense of community in the organisation, improving long-term decision making, improving knowledge sharing. Next, the training process. Training process comprises of a series of steps that need to be followed systematically to have an efficient training program. The training is a systematic activity performed to modify the skill, attitude, and the behavior of an employee to perform a particular job. Okay, first step on training process is identify training need. The first step in the training process is to assess the need for training employees. The need for training could be identified through a diagnosis of present and future challenges and through a gap between the employee's actual performance and the standard performance. The need assessment can be studied from the two perspectives, individual and group. The individual training is designed to enhance the individual efficiency when performing adequately, and whereas the group training is intended to inculcate the new challenge in employees due to a change in the organization strategy. Second, set training objective. Once the needs are identified, the objective for which the training is to be conducted are established. The objective could be based on the gap seen in the training program conduct earlier and the skill set developed by employees. After that, develop the training progress. The next step is to design the training program in line with the set objective. Every training program encompasses certain issues such as who are the trainers, what method are to be used for the training, what will be the level of training. Also, the comprehensive action plan is designed that include the training content, material, learning theories, instructional design, and the other training requisites. Fourth, implement the program. Once the designing of the training program is complete, the next step is put into the action. The foremost decision that need to be made is where the training will be conducted, either in-house or outside the organisation. One is to decide the time for training is set along the trainer who will be conducting the training session. Also, the trainee monitor continuously throughout the training program to see if effective is able to retain the employees' interest. And the last, Evaluate the program. After the training is done, the employees are asked to give their feedback on the training session and whether they feel useful or not. Through feedback, an organization can determine the weak spots, if any, and rectify in the next session. The evaluation of training program, it must be because companies invest huge amount in this session and must know its effectiveness in terms of money. So that's all from me. Thank you. Assalamualaikum.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Nama saya Nur Azuniza binti Muhammad Kamal. My number is D1831135. So today I would like to continue our presentation in this chapter. Is what is a training need? A training need is a problem which prevent work being done satisfactorily and which can be overcome by training. Training refer to all organized effort of the organization to facilitate the learning of specific work behavior. This effort to improve the current and future performance of employee, but enhance the ability of employee to perform their duty so that organizational objective can be achieved. So, ada nak cakap dekat sini, latihan ni sangat penting untuk semua staf dan kaki tangan syarikat sebab dia dapat meningkatkan prestasi dari segi kerja dan juga dari segi prestasi dia lah. So kalau dia ni kiranya kalau kita latihan ni untuk membuatkan kita lebih cekap bila melakukan kerja untuk masa akan datang. Okay, next slide. Next slide is about training need analysis. Training need analysis identify two question. First question is who needs training? Who need training? Employee who performance in unsatisfactory will be identified. However, apart from individual with performance problem, a group of training workers, for example, new employee should be given induction programs and basic skill training immediately before holding their new position. Employee to be transferred to promote also need training. So orang yang perlukan latihan ni banyak cabang dia. Yang pertama, orang yang mempunyai masalah kerja, dia punya mungkin ada problem ke apa ke, itu pun orang yang perlukan latihan. Yang cabang yang kedua adalah kiranya macam bukan pelajar, maksudnya macam pekerja baru. Okey, pekerja baru yang tak ada pengalaman, kita kena make sure yang dia ada, at least kalau dia tak ada pengalaman pun at least dia tahu basic macam mana nak kerja ni, at least dia kena ada. Ataupun kalau untuk orang yang ada pengalaman lagi bagus, dia kiranya kalau dia ikut latihan ni, dia untuk meningkatkan lagi prestasi dia, untuk dia lebih tahu, untuk dia menambah pengetahuan dia dari segi something yang dia buat. And yang terakhir adalah orang yang naik pangkat ataupun yang dipindahkan. Macam kalau orang yang naik pangkat atau yang dipindahkan ni selalunya yang tidak ada, yang kiranya macam jawatan dia lebih tinggi. So contoh kalau dia kerani, contoh dia akan naik sebagai penolong ni ke penolong tu, so dia kena lebih tahu. So dia kena ada latihan untuk macam kiranya untuk belajar. Okey, macam mana nak jadi penolong ni, jadi macam mana jadi penolong ni. So kiranya kalau dia dah ada latihan, so dia tahu okey lepas ni nak buat apa. Okey, kalau kerja ni dia nak kena buat apa macam tu. Question number 2, what skill or knowledge do the employee need? Do their attitude need changing? Okay, every time a new technology or procedure is introduced, employee must be taught how to use it, or the organization will face the mentioned situation where expensive machinery become useless because no one is training to operation. So dia cerita dekat sini, contoh macam ada jentera baru, macam kita tak tahu guna pun jentera tu. So kalau kita main pakai je, dia akan jadi rosak ataupun benda tu tak boleh pakai lama pun. So kita kena ada pengetahuan dengan skill juga untuk tahu okay, jentera ni dia boleh buat apa. Okay, jentera ni macam mana nak guna dia, apa yang dia boleh hasilkan dan apa yang dia boleh buat, apa yang dia tak boleh buat. So kita kena ada knowledge dengan skill sekali untuk tahu sesuatu jentera baru ataupun teknologi baru ke, tak kisah dari segi apa pun. So kalau benda tu baru, kita kena belajar macam mana nak gunakan, apa yang dia boleh buat, apa yang boleh dihasilkan, berapa lama dia boleh tahan, berapa lama dia boleh menghasilkan barang tu, macam tu. Okay, next slide is level of analysis. Level of analysis ni terbagi pada 3. Yang pertama adalah organizational level. Organizational level ni terbagi pada 2 pula, iaitu organizational culture dan quality and productivity measurements. Okay. Organization level means a level of the company organization to identified by senior management to purpose of measuring performance under the term of the plan or for a fiscal year. Maksudnya organizational level ni dia macam orang-orang yang senior ataupun orang-orang yang bukan berkuasa, maksudnya orang yang berjawatan. Maksudnya orang berjawatan dia akan duduk dekat organisation level ni untuk dia macam macam mana, untuk menimbang dia punya dia orang punya prestasi. Kiranya macam senior management ni dia tengok budak orang staff kaki tangan dia ni performance dia sampai mana, dia boleh pergi jauh ke tak untuk masa akan datang. Dia akan nilai orang yang berjawatan ni akan nilai staff-staff dia dari segi kerja, dari segi kehadiran dia, dari segi keterampilan dia, macam tu. Organizational kultur ni is the collection of value, expectation of practice that guide and inform the action of all team member. Think of it as the collection trait that make your company what it is. Kiranya organizational culture ni diorang macam akan guide semua kaki tangan untuk berlatih sesuatu benda tu. Yang kedua adalah quality and productivity measurements tu pula. Yang tu after company determine customer need, they must concentrate on meeting those need by yielding high quality product at an efficient rate. Company can improve quality and productivity by securing their commitments of all 3 level of management employees. Yang ni pula macam kiranya apabila syarikat ni dah tahu apa yang pelanggan nak, so diorang akan meeting, diorang bagi tahu pelanggan kita nak macam ni. Kita kena buat suatu benda tu dengan lebih dengan menggunakan high quality. Kiranya kita kena buat betul-betul, kita kena buat tekuk-tekuk supaya kualiti barang kita tu lebih tinggi. Orang pandang kualiti dia bagus, so benda ni boleh tahan lama, boleh guna lama, macam tu. Yang kedua pula adalah operational level. Operational level tu strategy refer to the means the company used to accomplish overall objective through the development of operational strategy. The firm can evaluate and implement efficient system for the use of resources and personnel. Kiranya operasi ni dia merujuk kepada cara yang digunakan syarikat untuk mencapai objektif keseluruhan. Kiranya dia kena macam syarikat tu akan pandukan kepada objektif. Apa yang diorang nak buat. Objektif ni macam apa yang dia nak capai untuk masa akan datang, macam tu. Melalui pengembangan strategi operasi, syarikat dapat menilai dan melaksanakan sistem yang efisien untuk penggunaan sumber dan personal. Dekat operational level ni ada satu, iaitu job analysis. Job analysis ni pula kiranya macam jawatan kuasa, orang berjawatan akan nilai kerja daripada kaki tangan dia dari segi persekitaran, lepas tu dia cari kerja dia cari dia buat kerja, dia curi tulang ke tak, macam tu. So diorang akan nilai, okay, dia ni macam ni. Okay, lepas tu kerja dia bagus. Okay, dia pula seorang yang jenis punctual, dia datang tepat pada masa waktu kerja dia, tak pernah lewat, tak pernah ponteng. So dekat sini job analysis ni sangat penting untuk kaki tangan, untuk kita tahu okey sejauh mana yang diorang boleh bekerja. Diorang ni pula yang jenis yang macam mana, kerja diorang okey ke tak okey ke. So company boleh detect dari situ. Okey, yang terakhir adalah individual level. Okey, individual level ni involves our own personal attitude, value and belief and particularly toward stereotype and prejudice. Kiranya individual ni atas diri kita sendiri, attitude kita macam mana, kerja kita macam mana, apa yang kita boleh buat, apa yang kita tak boleh buat. Dari situ yang ialah individual kan, sebab orang macam seorang kan. So kita atas diri kita, kerja kita macam mana, kita punya keterampilan pergi kerja macam mana, kerja kita macam mana, kita ni apa semua kita kena tahu sendiri. Okay, slide yang seterusnya, sources of information. Kat sini ada 5. Yang first adalah job description. Number 2, head of department. 3, employee. 4, organizational record. And 5, performance review document. Okay, first is job description. Job description is a written narrative describe the general task or other related duty and responsibility of a position. Kiranya macam kerja, macam kita kena terangkan kerja kita apa, position kita apa yang kita kena buat, apa yang kita faham tentang kerja kita, macam tu. Okay, yang kedua is head of department. Okay, head of department tu macam officers. Mission play a crucial role in supportive staff and manager in the performance management process by providing guidance, communication standard and ensuring timely department compliance for all stage of performance. So kiranya orang-orang yang ada berjawatan ni, macam ketua jabatan tu, dia akan support staff dia dari segi prestasi kerja dia. So macam mana dia orang berkomunikasi. Lepas tu kiranya senang cerita, macam ketua jabatan ni akan selalu support kaki tangan syarikat dia untuk membuat apa-apa, benda-benda yang berfaedah, benda-benda yang boleh mendatangkan kebaikan kepada syarikat dia. Macam itulah. Okay, yang ketiga adalah employee. Okay, employee ni, an employee is an individual who was hired by an employer to specific job. The employee is hired by the employer after an application and interview process result in his or her selection as an employee. Kiranya pekerja ni adalah orang yang dibayar gaji oleh majikan. Majikan yang ambil dia orang kerja. Tapi kita tak boleh ambil kerja macam kita boleh ambil sesuka hati. Kita kena mengadakan interview. Macam okay, kita interview seseorang ni, kita tanya dia apa yang dia boleh buat. Okay, dia ada pengalaman ke tak? Dia belajar jurusan apa kalau dia belajar. Kalau dia kerja, dia pernah kerja sebagai apa. So kalau kita dah interview semua, kita baru boleh nilai, okay, dia ni boleh sampai sini, okay, dia boleh ambil position sini, dia boleh ambil jawatan sini, okay, dia pandai sini, jadi kita kena letak dia sini. Macam tu. Kita tak boleh hire kerja ni suka-suka hati je. Kita tak boleh nak ambil orang suka-suka hati je. Kita kena nilai orang tu juga untuk bekerja under company kita. Sebab ialah company kita kena majukan company kita. Jadi kita kena cari orang yang bagus untuk company kita. So ia akan mendatangkan kebaikan lah kepada company kita. Company kita pula akan maju kalau kita pilih orang yang betul, orang yang rajin, orang yang cekap, orang yang jenis tak malas, punctual selalu, macam tu. Okay, yang keempat adalah organizational record. Organizational record may come from business, government agency, non-profit organization or community group. They are the internal document produced by an organization to guide its work or as a result of its work. Kiranya organisation rekod ni, dalam rekod ni ada pasal bisnes, pasal agensi kerajaan, pasal kerajaan, dia punya organisation non-profit, community group. Kiranya ini adalah dokumen yang dirujuk oleh pekerja untuk bukan mengeluar, kiranya kalau dokumen ni ada, so nanti the last diorang akan tengok ni kita kena baki ni kita kena tengok yang ni pula dia akan nanti kita akan adakan keputusan akhir. So keputusan akhir dia kita kena betulkan ni, kita kena baiki ni pula macam mana nak naikkan prestasi dia. Macam ni pula macam dokumen ni sangat penting lah untuk syarikat. So syarikat akan tahu, syarikat boleh detect apa masalah syarikat dia sendiri, macam tu. Yang kelima adalah performance review document. Performance review document will give you the tools you need focus on every aspect of the performance review, from preparing and conducting the appraisal to following up after it's complete. With this free document, you improve the consistency and reduce the subjectivity of your performance review to help you build and maintain your successful organisation. Kiranya performance review document ni macam dokumen yang kita boleh tengok balik. Yang sebelum ni orang syarikat kita, kenapa syarikat kita maju? Kenapa sekarang syarikat kita dah tak laku, dah macam boleh bankrupt? Jadi dekat situ dia boleh rujuk balik dia punya dokumen-dokumen lepas tu. So kalau daripada dokumen-dokumen lepas tu, dia tahu rupanya syarikat kita kena buat ni macam syarikat macam sebelum ni kita pernah buat, tapi sekarang kita tak buat sebab apa. So dia boleh refer balik daripada dokumen-dokumen dia ataupun kerja-kerja dia yang pernah company buat sebelum-sebelum ni. Next slide is about situation. Kat sini ada 5 situation. First is new employee, kedua promotion and transfer, ketiga new machinery, and keempat new procedure and policy, and kelima adalah new product and service. New employee should be given induction program and basic skill training. Kiranya kalau pekerja baru, kita kena bagi dia training, latihan untuk dia lebih banyak pengetahuan. Kiranya macam dia dah belajar sikit, kita tambah, kita suruh dia buat, kita suruh dia mengikuti sesuatu latihan tu, so dia akan lebih banyak dapat knowledge daripada apa yang dia mengikuti latihan tu lah. Mungkin dia boleh buat lebih bagus, ataupun dia boleh tambah pengalaman, tambah pengetahuan dia dalam sesuatu benda yang dia buat. Number 2 is promotion and transfer. Promotion dan transfer ni pun kena ada latihan juga. Macam kalau dia nak pindah ke ataupun dia nak naik pangkat, dia tak akan naik pangkat yang sama. Kiranya kalau dia jadi kerani, dia akan jadi penolong kerani. Bukan. Dia kalau jadi kerani, dia akan jadi penolong ketua ni dia, ataupun dia akan jadi ketua ni macam tu. Dia akan naik pangkat yang lebih tinggi. Jadi dia punya pengetahuan pun kena lagi tinggi. Dia kena lagi banyak tahu pasal sesuatu position yang dia akan duduki nanti. Macam tu. Yang ketiga adalah new machinery. Macam new machinery ni jentera baru. Kalau macam kita jentera baru pun, staff kena ada juga training. Sebab apa? Kalau jentera baru ni datang, takkanlah kita nak kena guna suka hati kan. So kita kena macam tahu. Maksudnya macam someone ataupun ketua staff kena bagi tahu lah dekat anak-anak buah dia, staff dia. Ni jentera baru. So kita jentera baru, kita boleh gunakan macam ni, gunakan untuk ni sahaja. Kita tak boleh pakai lama jentera ni. Jentera ni boleh tahan dalam masa beberapa jam. Itu macam tu, supaya jentera baru tu tak rosak and boleh pakai lama. Yang seterusnya adalah new procedure and policy. If procedures throughout the company to prevent sexual harassment and bullying in the workplace are introduced. All employees will need training until they understand the purpose of their procedure and how it applying it. Kiranya macam contoh kalau dekat sebuah syarikat tu ada pernah sexual harassment dengan bully. So kiranya kalau macam ketua staff dapat tahu, okey, diorang kena, orang-orang yang bermasalah ni kena ada latihan. Okey, diorang tak boleh nak, diorang takkanlah syarikat nak teruskan biarkan je, takkan diorang nak biarkan, diorang kena ada latihan. Kiranya macam latihan tu untuk membuatkan diorang improvement. Okey, lepas ni tak boleh nak buat macam ni. Polisi and prosedur dia tak boleh ada macam gangguan seksual, tak boleh ada bully. Macam kalau macam contoh, kalau satu company tu kata, okey, kita kat sini kerja macam ni, tak boleh buat macam ni. So kita kena ikut. So kita tak boleh nak bantah pun. Jadi kalau ada segelintir orang-orang yang macam ni, kita kena suruh diorang ikuti latihan tu supaya diorang lebih nak bekerja daripada membuat-buat benda macam tu. Okay, the last one is new product and service. Okay, new product and service ni kiranya macam okay, benda baru. Contoh sebuah company tu keluarkan sesuatu produk. Okay, produk ni and perkhidmatan. Okay, produk ni macam okay, kita boleh gunakan sebagai apa, benda ni boleh buat apa je, benda ni apa kelebihan dia. So kalau macam orang dah tahu okay, kelebihan dia benda ni akan disebar dekat orang. Macam okay, macam contoh ada orang ni beli, okay, orang ni pun bagi tahu orang ni, weh, aku beli benda ni bagus tu, benda ni boleh tahan lama pakai, benda ni kelebihan dia ni. Okay, kalau servis, kalau perkhidmatan pula, so macam contoh adanya ada Grab motor. Okay, untuk motor untuk 2 orang. So kiranya senang nak bergerak, nak cepat, senang. Okay, kita call je orang yang ada Grab motor, terus kita cakap okay, kita nak begini, kita kena cepat sebab nak kena sampai. So dekat sini macam senang lah untuk orang ni. So orang tu akan cakap, aku tadi naik Grab motor je macam tu. Grab motor je sebab dia cepat, dia senang. Lagipun motor kan, motor kecil, so diorang boleh ikut tepi je macam tu. Kalau kereta, kalau jam ke apa, susah, betul tak? Okay, last slide. Problem suggesting a training need include kat sana 5. First, falling output. 3, nombor 2, rising errors, scrap, risk, mistake. Yang ketiga, increasing time taken to complete work. Yang keempat, increasing accident rate. Yang kelima, increasing customer complaint. Okay, kalau yang falling output ni kiranya macam barang yang telah dihasilkan. Mungkin barang yang telah kita hasilkan tu rosak ke, tak elok ke, kemek ke, ataupun tak cukup ke apa ke, macam tu. Kalau yang rising errors, escape, waste, mistake ni macam kesilapan yang kerap-kerap orang buat. Macam tu, kerap-kerap yang staff buat. Okay, yang ketiga adalah increasing time taken to complete work. Kiranya kena ambil contoh, benda ni sekejap je. Macam satu produk ni nak siapkan sekejap je, tapi kita terlampau ambil masa yang lama. Contoh kalau kerja, kalau macam produk tu boleh siap 5 minit, tapi kita kalau macam ada masalah, kiranya macam benda ni kena lama, sejam macam tu baru boleh siap satu produk tu sejam. Padahal boleh satu produk tu boleh je buat 10 minit je paling lama macam tu. Okay, yang keempat adalah increasing accident rate. Kiranya accident rate ni macam kemalangan, macam jentera terbakar, apa-apa yang berlaku lah, kiranya kebakaran ke, kemalangan ke, macam tu. Yang kelima, increasing customer complaint. Kiranya macam contoh produk, kalau saya kaitkan dengan yang first tadi, yang falling output. Kiranya macam contoh kalau barang yang kita hasilkan tu tak elok, tapi kita tak kisah pun barang tu elok ke tak elok, kita tetap jualnya. Lepas tu akan dapat komplain. Kalau pelanggan beli akan dapat beli jenama ni, tapi jenama ni tak okey sebab ini tak betul. Kata kat dalam ni ada 25 helai, tapi kat sini ada 20 helai. Lepas tu kemek, kotak dia tak cantik ke apa ke macam tu. So kita dapat kita dapat image yang buruk. Kiranya orang tu, pelanggan tu akan sebarkan dekat orang lain, korang jangan beli benda ni tau, sebab benda ni tak okey, aku dah beli dia ni macam ni. Dia akan cerita, so orang tak akan beli benda tu pun. Sebab apa, benda tu macam tak datangkan faedah, and tak ada kiranya macam benda tu, yelah benda tu dah tak, benda yang tak elok. Apa kita beli, betul tak? Macam benda tu orang kata jangan beli, so kita takkan belilah. Kalau macam benda tu orang war-warkan untuk beli, kita beli. Macam tu. So that's all for me. Thank you.
Okay, hi, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Before we start, let me introduce myself first. My name is Akila Shazana Mendisak. My number metric D1831180. Okay, so now I will explain to you guys about training objective. Okay, for training objective ni, it is basically we do before kita buat sesuatu program latihan lah. Dan kenapa kita buat before program latihan? It is because untuk memberi kita panduan ataupun guide sasaran dan matlamat untuk kita capai dalam sesuatu program tu. Okay, so for training programs objective consists of 3 parts, which is terminal behavior, standard for performance, and also condition of performance. For terminal behavior, objektif ni untuk melihat pengetahuan yang akan diperolehi oleh pekerja semasa program latihan, dan juga untuk kita tengoklah setiap pekerja tu apa kemahiran yang boleh dilakukan, seperti mengira ke, menganalisis ataupun merancang. Okay, second is a standard for performance. For standard for performance, objektif ni untuk memastikan pekerja ni kurang melakukan kesalahan dan juga cekap dalam membuat kerja lah. Okay, so basically before this, pekerja ni dia ada masalah dalam buat kerja dia, and also kurang cekap. Dan after dia pergi training programs, dia boleh ubah dan asah dia punya skills jadi lebih better. Okay, so the last one is condition of performance. For condition of performance ni, basically kita nak tengok prestasi pekerja selepas program latihan, sama ada prestasi mereka sama ataupun berubah. Okay, contohnya kalau dia berubah, mungkin kerja dia akan jadi lebih bagus, dan juga dia cekap dalam melakukan sesuatu kerja. Okay, so that is for training objective. So for the next slide, I akan terangkan pasal developing training programs. Apa itu developing training programs? It means merancang program latihan. Okay, there is 7 factors need to be considered when we developing training programs. Okay, so for the first one is venue, iaitu tempat program latihan akan dijalankan. Okay, kita kena tahu, kita kena rancang tempat dekat mana tempat yang kita nak lakukan program latihan tu. Dan second is trainer, iaitu siapa pelatih yang akan menyertai program latihan tu. Okay, berapa ramai yang akan menyertai program latihan tu. Okay, third one is duration. So for duration ialah jadual masa untuk program tu lah. Okay, contohnya macam berapa hari kita akan pergi program latihan tu, dan juga jadual untuk setiap sesi yang akan dilakukan semasa program latihan tu. Okay, so the fourth is peruntukan budget. Budget means peruntukan perbelanjaan untuk sesuatu program. So bajet ni penting lah untuk kita bayar bayar tempat kita buat latihan tu, dan juga trainer. So untuk kita tengok, untuk kita kira bajet ni, kita kena tengoklah berapa ramai trainer yang kita akan ambil. Okay, dekat mana program latihan tu dijalankan, dan juga bayaran untuk penginapan dan juga pengangkutan. Okay, so next ialah individual or group. Okay, program latihan ni maybe akan jalankan dalam group ataupun individu. Okay, so the second last is methodology. ataupun cara atau kaedah program latihan itu dijalankan, sama ada dalam bentuk case study, latihan berasaskan permainan, simulasi ataupun bentuk kuliah. Actually metodologi ni ada banyak. Okay. The last one is logistik, iaitu penyediaan untuk penginapan dan pengangkutan. Okay, so there's all 7 factors need to be considered when we developing training programs. That's all from me. Thank you.
Hi, Assalamualaikum. My name is Nur Husnul Ali binti Mota. My nomenclature is T18311152. Okay, I will continue my group presentation and explaining about the training venue, job instructional training and training methods. Okay, based on the slide, we can see that on the job or off the job, where we will go to one by one. Okay, the first is training venue. Okay, training programs can usually be conducted either on the job or off the job training. On the job training, which is also known as OJT, is a practical method of teaching the skills, knowledge, and competencies needed for employees to perform specific jobs in their workplace. Employees learn in an environment that requires them to practice the knowledge and skills acquired during their training. Okay, on the job, typically use the tools, machines, equipment, document, and knowledge of their workplace available to each employees how to perform their duties effectively. Okay, basically, on the job training is also done at workstation or in centralized place. Okay, contoh, workstation ni adalah sebuah pusat atau tempat bagi sesebuah profession tu untuk menjalankan tanggungjawab dia. Contoh kalau cikgu, workstation dia dalam classroom, and kalau nurse pula workstation dalam ward. Okay, we go to next slide, which is job instructional training. Okay, trainers can also be used as teachers with sufficient patience and have a tolerant attitude towards each other. Okay, masuk kat sini, trainers pun boleh jadi seorang cikgu untuk melatih orang lain dengan sikap sabar dan juga sikap toleransi. Okay, this is because employees who have been selected to be trainers should be able to train others as well. Okay, therefore, to ensure that technique is carried out smoothly, there are 2 possibilities that must be considered. Okay, untuk pastikan teknik yang digunakan oleh trainer tu berkesan. So, ada 2 kemungkinan yang patut dipertimbangkan. Okay, pertama, the first one is the trainer should be rewarded for his efforts in carrying out his responsibility. Maksudnya, trainer tu sepatutnya diberikan ganjaran ataupun reward ataupun bonus atas usaha dia untuk menjalankan tanggungjawab dia. The second one is trainer should attend the trainer program. During the program, trainer should be exposed to job instructional training technique. Okay, yang keduanya ni, trainer sepatutnya boleh melibatkan diri dalam program train the trainer. Okay, so semasa program tu, trainer tu sepatutnya di-expose tentang job instructional training technique. So, as in the slide, macam apa kita nampak dalam slide, terdapat 6 langkah dalam job instructional training. So, for the first step is break down the job into its separate part. Okay, maksudnya bahagikan kerja untuk menjadi beberapa bahagian yang mudah untuk difahami dan untuk dikerjakan. Okay, yang kedua, give an overview of the job, which is memberi gambaran keseluruhan pekerjaan so that pelatih tu sendiri boleh imagine apa yang dia perlu buat lepas tu. So, number 3, demonstrate a part of the job for the trainee. Maksudnya tunjukkan sebahagian tugas kepada pelatih. Step yang keempat, let the trainee try to do what has been demonstrated. Maksudnya pekerja boleh biarkan pelatih tu berusaha praktikkan apa yang dia dah tunjuk tadi. So, yang kelima, correct any mistake made. Okay, dalam step ni, pekerja boleh betulkan pelatih tu kalau pelatih tu ada buat sebarang kesilapan atau kesalahan semasa dia melakukan step-step yang sebelum tadi. And step yang terakhir, let the trainee practice. So, masa step terakhir ni, pelatih tu perlu beri peluang untuk terus berlatih dan tingkatkan pengetahuan dia secara tak langsung. Okay, we go to next slide, which is training methods. Okay, among the training methods displayed in the slide are lecture, audio visual aids, computer-aided learning and e-learning, role playing, case studies, simulation, coaching, apprenticeship, and the last one is project or special assignment. Okay, we go through one by one. Okay, number 1 is lecture. Okay, this is generally a class or a workshop wherein the complete job knowledge is given to the workers by the expert of specialists from the professional institute. Okay, the main purpose of this training is to make the employees well informed about their job roles and discussing their queries arising out of the lecture. Okay, dalam method ni, dia lebih menggunakan cara communicate. Okay, communicate, bukan communicate yang dua hala. Okay, method yang kedua adalah audio visual aids. Okay, this method of training has been using successfully in education institution to train the student in subject to understand and assimilate easily and help them to remember forever. Next is computer-aided learning and e-learning. Computer-aided learning is a self-descriptive term that literally means learning with computers. Okay, now computer-aided learning means learning on mobile phones, virtual reality and augmented reality in addition to the desktop and laptop computer interaction. Okay, consequently, any difference between computer-aided learning and e-learning have all but vanished, and e-learning has become the more commonly used overarching term of learning the computers. Okay, dalam kaedah ni dia more kepada penggunaan internet. So macam sekarang ni, kebanyakannya menggunakan online saja. Okay, next is role play. It's a problem situation is simulate asking the employee to assume that role of a particular person in the situation. Okay, the participant interacts with others participants assuming different roles. The role play will be recorded by trainee, gets an opportunity to examine their own performance. Next is case studies. Okay, case studies are something that needs to address the problem faces by businessmen that can be solved by employees. Okay, trainees are given the opportunity to analyze the case and come up with all possible solution. Okay, in the end, this method can improve the analytical and critical thinking of an employee. Okay, next is simulation. Okay, simulation is to carry out this method. Expensive equipment, machines and computers are required. Okay, maksudnya dia menggunakan peralatan yang mahal seperti komputer, mesin-mesin. Under this method, an imaginary situation is created and the trainee is asked to act on it. Okay, maksudnya macam pilot, dia menggunakan simulation semasa latihan dia. Okay, for example, by taking on the role of marketing manager, solving marketing problems or creating new strategies. Okay, next is coaching. The trainee is placed under a particular supervisor who functions as a coach in training and provides feedback to trainee. Okay, manager should be able and willing to coach employees until they are able to perform if they are poor performance. Okay, coach is helpfully not only to poor performers, it can also make it good employees better. Okay, maksudnya kat sini supervisor atau pemajikan boleh jadi seorang coach atau pelatih untuk melatih staffnya. So untuk jadikan staff dia kepada lebih baik, jadi lebih baik. Okay, for the next slide is talk about which method to use. Okay, maksudnya kat sini ada tiga poin penting yang kita perlu tahu untuk memilih sesebuah method dalam banyak-banyak method yang saya terangkan tadi. Okay, yang pertama ni ASOK. A tu stands for attitude, S stands for skills and K stands for knowledge. Okay, untuk kita pilih method yang sesuai, kita kena tahu method mana yang boleh mengubah sikap seseorang, attitude, yang boleh meningkatkan skill seseorang, dan yang ketiga boleh membantu meningkatkan pengetahuan seseorang, which is knowledge. Okay, poin kedua is active or passive. So untuk memilih satu method tu, kita kena tahu method tu berunsurkan aktif ataupun pasif. Penglibatan dia. Okay, selain tu kita kena juga tahu penyertaan dia adalah secara group ataupun individu. Okay, yang ketiga adalah cost of facilities. Okay, dalam cost ni terdapat 3 tahap, iaitu low, medium dan juga high. Okay, low ni berkemungkinan method yang digunakan adalah method secara indoor. ataupun lebih kepada communication. Okey, yang kedua adalah medium, dan yang ketiga adalah height. Height ni more to method yang terlibat dengan outdoor ataupun penggunaan mesin, equipment ataupun komputer yang mahal. Okey, sekian saja daripada saya. Terima kasih.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Muhammad Daniel Fitri bin Majid. My matrix number is D1831091. So I will continue about learning principle. There are 4 points in learning principle, which is the learner must want to learn, active or passive learning, feedback or knowledge of result, and the learning is faster in teams. So number 1 is the learner must want to learn. So actually people cannot be forced to learn, although employees can be forced to attend a training program. Different people are motivated in different ways, and rewards are usually acceptable whether they are offered immediately and satisfactory completion of the course in the form of certificate or some publicity in the organization newsletter. So the training module should be exciting and interesting. Nobody can be expected to learn from a boring course. Creativity on the part of the trainer will help to ensure different way of presenting. So and a variety of technique is better than using the same method over and over. So number 2 is active or passive learning. Care might be taken to make sure the trainees are actively involved in the learning process. So when the objective of training is develop a skill, active learning is essential. So among the simple example for us to understand, which is the trainees cannot be a great footballer just by watching a video on YouTube or even reading a books about football. The only way is practice, learn from someone, or develop any other skill is by doing it. In example, trying to play, making mistake, being corrected, and trying again. So when different training methods are compared, it will become obvious that in some the learner is very passive. He acts like a sponge, absorbing material. Number 3 is feedback or knowledge of result. Trainees should be given frequent feedback until they know if they have correctly understood the material being studied. The more feedback given, the more students can take steps to improve their performance. So the ideal training method for providing feedback is computer-based training where constant testing and feedback is built into the system. And number 4 is learning is faster in teams. Just as work is often done in teams, learning experiences are often more effective when the learning takes place in group or teams. Many trainers prefer that all communication be between themselves and their trainees and not between one trainee and another. Okay, so next slide is about the Kirkpatrick model of evaluation. So, what is the Kirkpatrick model of evaluation? The Kirkpatrick model of evaluation is a popular approach to evaluating training program. However, despite the model focusing on training program specifically, it is broad enough to encompass any type of program evaluation. So for all practical purpose, training practitioner use the model to evaluate training program and instructional design initiative. It covers 4 distinct levels of evaluation, which is level 1 reaction, level 2 learning, level 3 behavior, and level 4 is result. So level 1 evaluation, reaction. The objective for this level is straightforward. It evaluates how individuals react to the training model by asking questions that establish the trainees. Question will figure out if the participant enjoy their experience and if they found the material in the program useful for their work. This particular form of evaluation is typically referred to as a smart sheet. Example of resource and technique for level 1 is first, online assessment that can be graded by delegate or evaluator. Number 2 is interview, and number 3 is can be done immediately after the training ends. Level 2 evaluation, learning. Evaluating at this level is meant to gauge the level participants have developed in expertise, knowledge, or mindset. Exploration at this level is far more challenging and time consuming compared to level 1. An example of tool and procedure for level 2 is number 1 is measurement and evaluation is simple and straightforward for any group size. Number 2 is you may use a control group to compare, and number 3 observation by peers and instructional. Next is level 3 evaluation transfer. This level analyze the difference in the participant behavior after completing the program. Assessing the change make it possible to figure out if the knowledge, mindset, or skill the program taught are being used in the workplace. Example of assessment results and technique for level 3. Number 1 is this can be carried out through observation and interview. Number 2, evaluation have to be subtle until change is noticeable, after which a more true examination tool can be used. And number 3 is where the learn knowledge and gain skill use. The lastly is level 4 evaluation result. Commonly regarded as the primary goal of the program, level 4 determines the overall success of training model by measuring factors as lower spending, higher return on investment, improved quality of product, less accident in the workplace, more efficient product times, and a higher quantity of sale. So type of assessment strategies and tool used for level 4 is use a control group, allow enough time to measure or evaluate. Number 3, no final result can be found unless a positive change takes place. So the last slide is e-learning. Okay, e-learning allow learners to learn at the speed which suits them best. So this means that students can learn according to their acceptance skill. If you are quick to understand, you can quickly cover many topics. For people who are slow to understand about what they are learning, we can stop until they understand and continue. Next is e-learning allow for saving on logistic costs. Okay, this means e-learning save on logistic costs because we can learn from our own place. No need to travel or to go any place of study. For example, now a lot of training is done online, so save on travel costs. And last part is e-learning allow employees to learn at time which suit them best. This means that e-learning allow employees to learn at most convenient time for the employee himself. No need to be tied to working hours 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. If he feel it is best for him to study at night, he can study at night according to the comfort and the convenience of times. So that's all from me. Thank you.
Now, for the last thing, let's take a look at the company of this chapter. Okay, as you can see, knowledge and skill are very important for every company nowadays. Firms are valued based on their physical structure and intellectual capital. The easiest way to develop and increase the intellectual capital of a company is to hold regular training and expansion programs. Also, supporting untrained employees incurs greater organization cost than if they employ trained individual. Okey, maksudnya training adalah sangat diperlukan dalam diri seseorang pekerja yang mana dapat memberikan kelebihan yang tersendiri kepada diri mereka sendiri maupun syarikat tersebut. Okey, itu sahaja daripada grup kami tentang chapter ini. Hope all of you understand and will learning about this chapter. Thank you for spending your time watching our video. Bye.